Well, let me ask you this. James wanted me to ask him about this. Oh yeah, the supposed witness. I'm curious who's. I guess you can't say who the supposed witness is, right?
No, I can. He was a protected informant. He will be until, if they call him for trial, then they'll have to figure out how to introduce his testimony without exposing his identity. But for him, he was helpful in the case, and I wouldn't want to see any harm come to him. So.
Right.
But I understand he's expressing his opinion.
Okay.
And we talked. I'd interviewed that guy at least a dozen times.
Is this someone that you've talked to me off camera? Off record about it?
Mm-mm.
Is it somebody in your book? Is he named in your book?
Look at you. I just got done saying I'm trying not to do anything. Yeah.
I'm sorry about it. James ask him if they can use Keefe's proffer they did with him as evidence, since Keefe is now arrested and being charged with murder since he broke.
Great question. That's a really great question. So that's going to be a legal issue that needs to be argued. And so it's going to have to go before a judge at some point and make a determination whether or not Keefe has violated the terms and conditions of his proffer. Not necessarily by going out and bragging independently of his interviews with us. But if he now goes and says that I'm not guilty, I didn't do any of this, that infers that he lied to us. He tells us he's guilty and that he did all these things. If he's now saying I'm not guilty, I didn't do any of these things, well, does that mean he's now violated the conditions of the proffer? And if so, is there any protection anymore? So it's going to be an issue. It'll be a really interesting thing for the courts to work out.
Wow. Another question from him says, ask him if he thinks Keefe will likely try to cut a deal to avoid a trial. I doubt it will go to trial. He's likely not going to take the stand and then get buried with all the evidence of him talking on the platforms and his book he wrote.
Yeah, so I think that he'll plead not guilty this week at the arraignment. He's likely to go and meet with a defense attorney, an appointed defense attorney, and they'll discuss his options. And I think that there probably is going to be a motion. His attorney, if he's any good, will put a motion to suppress his public statements from court. A judge will have to rule whether or not Keefe's public statements, his book, his podcast, all the stuff that he said is admissible. I can't imagine the judge not allowing it into court. So once they lose that battle, once the judge rules that it's all admissible, then Keefe has to reevaluate his situation. And if it looks like there's a strong likelihood of getting convicted with special circumstances, because of the gun enhancement, the gang enhancement, all of those things, and Keefe's looking like life without, he may want to reapproach the idea of pleading out to a lesser charge for a sentence that will let him potentially see the light of day again.
Wow. Okay, let's say he does cut a deal. What kind of sentence is he looking at?
If he cut a deal, yeah, it's hard to say. I don't know. You could probably go and do some research on average second-degree sentences in the state of Nevada. I don't know.
But he's not going to go home, right?
No.
No probation or something like
that. No. Okay. Keefe, if he's as sick as they say, or if he's got cancer, then even a 15-year sentence is essentially, it's equivalent. It's like a life sentence. It's much like Suge. Suge will likely never see the light of day.
Yeah, sadly.
Sadly.
Well,
sadly.
Yeah. Let me ask you this.
You can't love Tupac and Biggie and at the same time have empathy for their killers.
Well, I'm just saying that I know people that know them. I'm not trying to get on their bad side. That's all.
That's all right.